Welcome to Rob Talks. Thank you for supporting our channel. Here's the translation from the Mayan Calendar for August 14th, 2025. If you're enjoying these translations, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to help us grow. Thank you. Now let's look at what all three Mayan calendars have to say. First up is the long count calendar, which is being represented by 13 Baktun, 0 Katun, 12 Tun, 13 Winal, and the 12 Kin. This long count invites calm consolidation. What you've harvested internally is now asking to be made steady, both in form and practice. It's less about sudden action and more about building a faithful container for the wisdom you've gained. This is a time to root what matters in your life so it can sustain you and others. The 12 Kin reflects a day of deepening, consolidation, and preparing for what has ripened to move into steady expression. You're being asked to slow down and document the lessons that have emerged recently. Now is the time to create small, consistent practices that embody recent insights. Lastly, protect the fragility of new growth by avoiding overstretching. Now let's explore what the Tzolk'in calendar has to say. Today's date is 13 Ben. Ben is the reed, and represents the path, authority, growth, and service. Its symbolism is uprightness, the reed or pole as a support, and leadership cultivated from humility. It's about manifestation, responsible leadership, and holding a steady center for community growth. Also, this is a time to stand tall in service, leading by example and nourishing collective fields. The number 13 is about completion and the return to source. It's a portal of culmination that invites the embodiment of lessons rather than just a mere knowing of them. Collectively, 13 Bin asks you to step into quiet authority. Leadership today looks like rooted presence by showing up consistently, speaking truth with care, and letting your integrity be the pillar that others can lean on. Remember, influence grows from steady practice, not by performance. Today you're being asked to take one practical step that supports another, whether that's by teaching, tending to, or giving of your time. You'll also be encouraged to clarify boundaries that protect your capacity to lead kindly. Lastly, stand in stillness before speaking, and let your words be measured and nourishing. Now, let's move on to the Hob calendar. Today's Hob date is 13 Muwan. Muwan is represented by the owl, storm, fire, and rain. Its symbolism is about intuitive sight from the owl, catalytic storms, and elemental purification. The number 13 is about maturation and readiness. It signals a deepening readiness to move from inner work into stable outward form. Collectively, 13 Muwan asks you to marry your inner clarity by taking wise action. The storm energy has refined you. Now the call is to use that refinement for steady, compassionate service. This is a day that the elemental alchemy you've undergone is mature enough to seed sustainable projects, desires, and ambitions. You're being asked to use lessons from past storms to design systems, such as a routine, support, or safeguards. This is also the time to offer your refined skills or attention to one tangible, grounded need. Now let's look at what the collective message is from all three calendars. This is a day of mature grounding and responsible embodiment. The reed, represented by Ben and the Stormwise Muwan, calls us to hold authority that is humble and steady, in other words, leadership that tends to things and not dominate things. The community benefits when inner alchemy is translated into small, reliable acts of caring which yield great results. The themes today are that of humble leadership and steady service, turning inner storms into stable support systems, protecting capacity through boundaries, and the embodiment of wisdom into daily practice. What you're being asked to do is offer help or acknowledgement to someone in a small, concrete way, but this is also a time to say no to a demand that would stretch you too thin. Here is an affirmation reflecting today's calendars. I stand steady in my truth and serve with humble authority. My daily devotion roots wisdom into the world. Thank you for your support.